This is a video for any of you who struggle when it comes to improvising over jazz standards. I came to jazz from a blues rock background, so I was very confident with improvisation when I started learning jazz, but I'll admit that I struggled. Jazz is just inherently complex, it's inherently dynamic, and what happened was I developed a process which I still apply when tackling any jazz standard for the first time. In this video, I'm going to walk you through this process. It's a 4-step process, and it's going to get you confident soloing over any jazz standard that you apply it to. We're going to apply it to the classic, The Way You Look Tonight. So grab your guitar and let's get into it. So the first step in learning how to solo over any jazz standard using my method is to learn the chords, okay? And this sounds obvious, but you really do need to know the chords in order to be able to solo confidently and to improvise confidently over a jazz standard. So if we're thinking about something like The Way You Look Tonight, I'm going to show you the basic chords, okay? The basic chords are E flat major 7, C minor 7, F minor 7, B flat 7, G minor 7, C7, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat major 7, C minor 7, F minor 7, B flat 7, and then we're going to have some sort of a turnaround, okay? We're not going to worry too much about the turnaround. So step 1, learn the chords, know the chords, but don't just know the chords, know the arpeggios. Okay, and then it goes round again. So step number 2. Be able to play the melody. There's a couple of reasons why you need to know the melody. First of all, if you don't know the melody, you don't know the song. I think that goes without saying. But also, and this is going to be step number 3, the melody is going to provide you with anchor points around which you can anchor your improvisation, and it's going to stop you from getting lost. So knowing the chords is going to help you to stop you from getting lost, but knowing the melody is really, really going to help you to stop you from getting lost. And I'm going to show you a method in step number 3 that involves basically using this melody as a way of sort of orientating or working out where we are in the song, orientating ourselves within the form, okay? So if we think about the melody of The Way You Look Tonight, it's not the most complex melody at all. And it goes, someday when you're feeling low. So if we think about those first 4, 5, 6 notes, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 2 notes, the first 2 notes, that stretch over 2 bars, okay? So that's the first 4 bars, and actually the third bar, when you're feeling, is quite busy. You've got quite a few notes over that bar. When you're feeling low, and you can see on the screen that I've mapped out the melody here, so you can actually see what the melody looks like when it's broken down over the bars. Okay. The reason that I do this is because when I'm initially coming to a jazz standard, I find it's really useful to just start from the point of, rather than just trying to improvise over everything and throw the kitchen sink at it, I'm going to work on embellishing the melody. So I'm going to break the melody down into these kind of bars and work out what note falls on which bar and which notes fall on which beats. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the bars where there's not a lot happening, and we're going to embellish over those bars. So I'm going to improvise initially over the sort of quieter passages. So for instance, someday goes over 2 bars, okay? In the third bar we go to this F, and the melody suddenly gets busier. So we're not going to try and improvise initially over this, okay? We're just going to try and improvise over the first 2 bars, because we've not got a lot going on there anyway. And we know that in bar 3, as long as we can land on an F at the beginning of bar 3, then we can pick the melody up again, or if we're feeling confident enough, we can continue to improvise and use that F as a target note, okay? So you can hear there that I'm focusing a lot of my improvisation around the melody. There's passages where I'm just throwing things at it and, you know, it's fine. But I know where I am because I'm either about to go into a section of the melody or I'm coming out of a section of the melody. I'm using that melody in order to orientate myself within the form. So that's step number 3, embellish the melody. Step number 4, once we know our melody and we know our chords, is to begin to move away from the melody, so we can start to solo without embellishing the melody, without even referencing the melody if we don't want to. Now, my advice would be that actually your solos should follow the melody to a certain extent. I think people, as I said, like to hear the melody. The melody is what most people are there for, whether we like it or not. And nobody ever complains if you play the melody or play something that's an approximation of the melody. No one's going to moan about that because it's going to sound good. That's why it's the melody, because it sounds good. So I wouldn't necessarily disregard the melody completely, but you want to be able to disregard it at will and just solo using chord tones, using arpeggios, and still sound good without having to sort of stay close to the melody. So I was playing over that something like, I was playing over the E flat major 7 and the C minor 7. I was playing basically an E flat major scale and just embellishing it. And then when we got to the F minor 7, I was jumping into the melody. When you're feeling low. This time I'm going to disregard that. And I'm just going to try and solo using an arpeggio over the F minor 7. And then I'm going to use an arpeggio over the B flat 7 and connect those arpeggios. I might even throw in a sharp 9 or a flat 9 or something, you know, and I'm just going to kind of feel my way through it using the chord tones more. So I hope that's been helpful, folks. If it has, definitely like, subscribe, and yeah, take it easy and keep making music.